Getting fired, people say, you've been fired a lot. Does it ever get any easier? And my answer is no, it never gets easier. But you do learn how to come back from it. You do learn how to deal with it.
In the face of job loss, did you or anyone you know ever feel pressured to take roles that did not align?
Oh, yeah.
With personal values just to stay afloat?
Absolutely, yes.
How can professionals avoid this trap? Because it is a trap. It's not a trap. I mean, this is not age discriminatory. I mean, this is across the board.
Absolutely.
Young families to more seasoned families. So
yeah. I think it's a trap at any age. I think each age is going to experience it from a different perspective. And I certainly have a story about that. There was a job that I took. I was in it for 6 months. I lost the job before that. Kind of my fault. I kind of got disillusioned with the role. It really wasn't. I thought it was something I wanted to do, but it really wasn't. And I kind of left that role. It was a contract role, so I was done with the contract. I got rushed. I got rushed by this company, by the CEO of this company, and he was, he painted this great picture of what the role was, etc. The problem was he was based in New York. The job was based in Los Angeles. The guy in the LA office had no interest in me, what I was doing, and he basically wanted me out from the first day that I was there. Plus, the culture of the company was just totally incompatible for me, just the way they did business. It wasn't that they were dishonest or out of integrity, it was very, very different. So one Monday morning, almost 6 months to the day after I joined, calls me into his office, the LA manager, and he says, almost without looking up, says, today's your last day. I want you to pack up your desk. We're going to escort you out of the building. We'll send you your check on Friday. I was crushed. I was ashamed, and I didn't talk about this for years. I left this job off my resume. I thought, 6 months, it's not going to show up. I made a mistake. It was terrible. Getting fired, people say, you've been fired a lot. Does it ever get any easier? And my answer is no, it never gets easier. But you do learn how to come back from it. You do learn how to deal with it.
Well, I think you're also the perfect example of going through adversity where, part of you coming back from it. I mean, I look at, and which the last question is going to be about your book, but I think about how you constantly went to a whole nother level that maybe you would not have gone to if you had not been going through.
Right. Well, but your question about compromise and about values and about the trap of taking the wrong job. So part of this, I would say, first of all, is don't beat yourself up if you take the wrong job, because you're going to learn from this experience. Next time, you're not going to do this again. Hopefully, you're not too damaged from the experience.
Right.
We can't always know what that wrong job is. We spend a lot of time, just as much time, worrying about whether we're taking the wrong job as if we're taking the right job, or not getting the right job. So just want to kind of set the ground rules that it's all okay, right? Don't beat yourself up for having made that mistake. We all have to make that mistake. What you can do, though, in preparing for it and try to minimize the chances of that happening, is to balance this sense of, I need a job, I need to put food on the table, oh my God, I'm running out of time. Try not to get yourself into that situation in the first place. So if you have a job right now, make sure that you are keeping up with your network. Make sure that you have a really clear LinkedIn profile that talks about your value. Make sure that you are meeting new people in your industry every week so that you have a resource to rely on when you need it. So you're not in that situation where you're going to have to jump. So there's a certain amount of preparation and preemption that you can do for this. If you get yourself into a bad job, I would not stay in that job and hope for the best. If you're in there and it's a month and it's like, oh, this is not getting any better, this is kind of going in the wrong direction, don't just kind of tune everything out and try to grin and bear it. Start making those moves privately, subtly, discreetly, to find something else. Don't let it get to the point that I let it get to, where I had my blinders on, I didn't see it coming stupidly, and it hit me on the head. The lesson that I learned there is probably what inspired me or gave me the insight at DreamWorks to go to them and say, hey, is this done? Am I done here? Because I didn't want to be in a situation where they fired me. I would rather quit, right? And walk out with my head high and with goodwill from the company because I did them a favor. I went in and I said, this is not working any longer, is it? And they said, well, no, not really. It's not about you, it's about us, whatever. We were civilized about it, we were friendly about it. They kept inviting me to all the parties. I mean, it was great. Not so much for the first example, where I made that mistake. So I'm saying there are ways that we can empower ourselves so that we're not on the hook like that, and we're not so subject to the whims of bad employers or jobs that don't really align with who we are.